Here, have a look to the right. At the end of this avenue, you have the financial center, La Défense, with the high skyscrapers there. And here we turn to the right on Avenue Foch, the largest avenue. Which means that the King of France was at the same time the king, the religious chief of the country, a Catholic country, and the head of the government. And he was also known as the Sun King, because as a young king he had developed a comparison between himself and Apollo, a god chosen from the Greek mythology, the god of sun. The construction of the palace lasted 48 years. 48 years of construction in Versailles. That's why you have 2,400 rooms nowadays. It took time. It took time also to lay out the amazing gardens with the Grand Canal, 39 fountains, groves, then a private summer house, the Trianon Palace, built by Louis XIV, in a distance from the Palace of Versailles itself, living inside the palace. And once he had all these people living there, he needed to keep them busy. This is the Seine River we just crossed over. And we're on Highway A13 that goes to the Channel, to the ocean. But we're not going that far.
Yeah.
Just a few miles to Versailles. 15. France was quite wealthy. He died at the age of 77 in Versailles. And that was an old age for the 17th century. That's probably the reason why when he died, though he had 22 children, 6 with the Queen, Marie-Thérèse, who was also his cousin, Marie-Thérèse of Austria, and 16 with different mistresses. When he died, none of his sons and none of his grandsons were still alive to become King of France. It was only his great-grandson who became King Louis XV at the age of 5, again a little boy. We're entering Versailles, which was a village in the 17th century, is nowadays a city of 100,000 people. Very wealthy and nice place to live. Louis XV was educated to be some sort of a replica of his ancestor, which was not really a good idea, because times had changed. In the 18th century, century of enlightenment, people had other expectations, and the system of absolute monarchy was not adapted to the needs of the population. But Louis XV was not as good a politician as Louis XIV had been, and he did not realize what was going on. He lived for his own pleasures in Versailles. He was a gambler, a man who loved hunting, had lots of mistresses and a big family. And when he died in 1774, monarchy was more or less going bankrupt. And that's what he left as a legacy to his grandson, who became King Louis XVI at the age of 21. A well-educated young man, Louis XVI, interested in geography, languages, sciences, not at all in power. He didn't like people, he didn't like crowds, he didn't like to make decisions. He was shy and a little bit awkward. He was not at all prepared to become a king of France. He became a king only because his elder brother died too young. And Louis XVI was married to Marie Antoinette of Habsburg, the 15th daughter of a very powerful empress, the Empress of Austria. But as the 15th daughter, Marie Antoinette had not been politically educated to become a queen of France. She became a queen only because 4 of her eldest sisters died in their young years. Several drops. Taxes and prices rose dramatically, and people started to have a very hard time to make a living. And that's not the only reason that led to the revolution, but it's one of them. At least it's one of the reasons why On the 5th of October 1789, a crowd of about 3,000 people, very upset, mostly women, walked all the way from Paris to Versailles.
Such a short
Aren't we all?
Why not make a show out of it?
Wow. Short life, huh?
Short life. Look, just ahead of us here, you can see the gilded gate to the royal courtyard.
They knew what they were going to die of.
Yeah, I know there's a difference.
So when we arrive from Paris, what we discover mostly is very different from the Baroque that was fashionable in Europe at that time. You will discover mostly from the gardens. And Louis XIV chose classical features which are straight, horizontal and vertical lines, triangular pediments, not many curves and no fancy decoration.
I'm in a tour report. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, that place there told me would invitation to go inside painting to go visit gardens. Optical illusions is something that we enjoyed very much. Like this. Diana, with the little moon crescent here on her head, fell in love with and admired Duncan. Just about the time you think you've seen it all, he tells it again. Attended Editors by Charles Wow. Right, okay.
So the rooms wouldn't be as big.
Well, originally the room was smaller. There were two rooms. Here we had transformed into a big antechamber. When he moved his big chamber to the center. And if you look out the window, you see where we are. We are facing the royal courtyard and the gilded gate. And we are in the old palace here, exactly. Travaillé pour le survivant portugais au château de Versailles. Et encore aujourd'hui, au château de Versailles, on voit ce type de salon qu'on appelle le salon à l'italienne, avec des fenêtres très hautes et qui donne sur le parc. Donc le salon ouvrait sur une terrasse. Dans un deuxième temps, un autre architecte qui était généralement en salle a fait changer de terrasse. Il a remplacé par la et à ce moment-là, le roi, qui avait une première chambre juste à côté, l'a fait déplacer. Donc finalement, cette chambre est installée à ses bras, ici en 1701, il est mort là, 14 ans après. Et donc, il avait 60 ans. Et la chambre gigantesque, elle fait 10 mètres sur 7.
You got your flash on?
Yeah, no,
Good. All good.
love the material there.
Mm-hmm.
And here, since we entered the allegory of France, giving peace in Europe, painted by the same artist who painted Hercules' room, the Apotheosis of Hercules, François Lemoine, Louis XV, giving to an allegory of Europe a branch of laurel leaves.
Wow, it's covered in gold.
Would this be 219?
16.
That was
And the chandelier, I love the chandelier.
had tried to be seated on stools, not on chairs. Later,